Mechanical computer is a general-purpose device that can be programmed to carry out a finite set of arithmetic or logical operations. Sure, we have the fastest internet available and we can read, research, whatever we want to, or perform any operation we want. It all had to start somewhere. Where are these beginnings? The following is an example of the earliest computers and their functionality. Mechanical computers can be either analog, using smooth mechanisms such as curved plates or slide rules for computations, or digital, which use gears. It was first conceptualized and designed by Charles Babbage. In the time of Babbage, there was a really high error rate in the calculation of maths tables, so Babbage planned to find a solution to make it mechanical, known as the analytical engine, to remove the human error factor. His first shot at it was known as the difference engine. By using a numerical algorithm called the differences method, it was theoretically possible to calculate polynomials. The analytical engine used punched cards adapted from the Jacquard loom to specify input and the calculations to perform. The analytical engine was the world's first general-purpose computer. This computer is often regarded as the first stage of modern computer, and it was primarily used until the late 1940s. While this computer had many varied uses, it commonly was used for calculations, navigations with missiles and torpedoes during wars.
How do mechanical computers work? The way mechanical computers work is by using gears, levers, and wires. The makeup is quite simple, but the building and designing is quite complicated. You cannot reprogram a mechanical computer because it is built out of gears, so there is no way to reset the machine to do a different function. So, if the mechanical computer was set up to do the function to start with, then the computer will never do it. The big problem with mechanical devices is if a lever breaks or a gear chips, then the machine becomes completely unreliable for calculations because you will get the wrong answer. Babbage's biggest problem was he could not get his computer to run reliably for any length of time.
This is only a part of the whole engine and can be used to calculate only one decimal number. This base design is replicated 50 times and stacked above and can be used to calculate up to 50 decimal places. It consists of two parts. One is the mill, where all the operations are carried out. Another is the store, where the numbers are kept before being operated on. The mill is the main processor and it's analogous to the modern day CPUs. Likewise, the store is analogous to the memory in our computers today. The input is taken by three different types of cards: the number card, operation card, and the variable card. The number card is used to input the values in the machine, having rows and columns with holes that can be punched. In order to input the number, all the holes are punched except for the ones which are placeholder for that number. For example, if 3 is to be entered, all the holes are punched except for 3. Then the card is inputted in the system, and the places which don't have a hole in the card push the levers and initiate the machine. The levers then get activated, and through a system of gears, the pinions or the small rotors are activated that read the number onto one of the columns of the store. The address of that column is given on the number card itself. This way, the number is stored and the second number is inputted using the same mechanics and stored in a different column of the store, which is again noted down. Now the numbers are in the store, the operation has to be specified to the mill in order for it to operate on the number stored. The operation card is used to input the operation and works on the similar lines of the number card. The difference here is that a hole is punched in the operation that has to take place. The card is then put into the machine and then through levers, the barrels are rotated. These barrels have pegs to which various system of gears are attached. Each system is responsible for its own type of operation. The barrels activate the required system of gears according to the operation input and gets the mill ready to compute the number stored. Now, the variable card is used to transfer the stored numbers from the store to the mill. The variable card is punched with the column address of the numbers and inputted in the machine. The stored numbers are transferred to the mill using the rake, which is the long straight piece of metal with teeth, and stored onto the ingress axis, which then sends them to the mill. Similarly, the process is repeated for the second number. The operation is carried out, reading the numbers in a specific system. After the operation is completed, the output is carried out from the mill using the egress axis. Then the variable card can be used to dictate the address where the output of the operation is stored. Now the output is in store and in a specific column. In order to get an output, reverse mechanism can be used where the levers punch out the cards from which the output can be read.
Mechanical computers, like the aforementioned Antikythera automaton, are designed to provide a specific output from a series of inputs. Development of mechanical computers greatly expanded in the early 1900s and were at their zenith by the 1940s. During this period, mechanical computers advanced from solving simple arithmetic problems to guiding bomb trajectories and aiming battleship guns, all while accounting weather and atmospheric conditions. Even more fascinating was the Globus mechanical computer, an automaton which provided spacecraft trajectory data used on every Soviet launch until 2002. However, mechanical computers are more commonplace than these extremely complex mechanisms.